Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to EVE Online. I know it's been a long time since I've done one of these. I think the last time I did it was back in the summer, back when I didn't have to worry about things like homework and school and stuff. Sadly, I'm still doing homework and school and stuff, but I actually have a snow day, quite literally. Campus was shut down due to the snow over here in Massachusetts. And just FYI, today, for those curious, is February 5th. So, you know, we have our big snowstorm coming through here. It should basically shut everything down. Why is that up there? So yeah, it's I've got a day off. I figured, hey, I'll do some EVE. You'll probably notice I've got a new Paladin, all big, nice, and shiny. And this particular Paladin's fit a little differently than the old one. You will notice that I don't have, well, I don't have this group of the salvaging, fix that. I don't have my alt with me. It's just me at the moment. And you'll probably also notice that I've got a few new modules. The Bastion module, the micro jump drive. They are favorites of mine. I very much like them. I've been changing my play tactics a little bit because of them. You'll also notice I have disabled here a cloaking device, a probe launcher, and a salvager. Those have their uses, but they're not generally things I keep on during combat because, and you can take a look at the fit here, I'm pretty tight on the CPU. But yeah, this is my fit. You know, she's pretty solid. I'm quite pleased with her. And I will see if I can copy the fit information into the description for the video. Alright, so what I'm going to show you here, this is a level 4 mission that I'm doing, way out here over in Korzor. I kind of decided to take an off-the-beaten-path sort of thing, though not quite so off-the-beaten-path. There's 80 people in the system before, so... Alright, so the people here are kind of wimpy. You'll also notice mobile tractor stuff thingies. Deploy that. Micro jump. Start locking. I really like micro jumps. I've got tachyons. They get some awesome range to them. Fire up the Bastion. I love watching this. Fire away while I one-shot these guys. Oh, it's fun. So, just some basic information. Top range on this is about 150 kilometers. I can use standard crystals at that range, and I could technically go farther if I had, what is it, Aurora ammo? Yeah, Gleam is the short range one. If I had Aurora ammo, I could get well over 200. But I don't have Aurora ammo. And I can't lock that at that range. The reason 150 is my limit is because I can only lock up to 150. Oh boy, okay. Save that, and oops, did I get rid of... Yes, I got rid of the old ones. There we are, Bastion's done doing its thing. And you just saw how I completely popped those guys like crazy. It was fun. So, anyways, so max range is up to about 150k. I think I do about 3,000 some odd damage out that range every 6.5 seconds. Now, at point blank range, I do about twice that, but I have to be within about 35 kilometers to pull that off. Let's see. Okay, good. I'll come back and pick up pieces here a little bit later, which is why I bookmarked it. I just leave the mobile tractor to do its thing. I mean, the NPCs never shoot at it, and it just, you know, tractors and loots all the wrecks, and I've got salvage drones to pick up the rest, so piece of cake. Multi-freaks I can do about 5,000 damage every 6.5 seconds. Those have range up to 70, so that works out pretty well. Okay. Let's see. Boop, 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 boop. Yeah, alright. Bastion are up. Start locking stuff. And multi-freak. Ah, lots of stuff. Fun. Loyal servant. I think I want to pop that first. The one thing that scares me, and this scared me before, was interceptors. Anything interceptor will just creep me out. Now, Bastion mode is nice because I can't be ECM'd, I can't be, you know, sensor dampened or anything like that. There we go. Okay, and 40 actually. Let's gleam him. Haha, you have been missed on the gleam. That's annoying. Second volley. Mystic. Grrr, these things increase tracking too. What the heck? Fine, I'll shoot at something else. Alright. Something I can actually hit. Actually, I think I want to turn that off. It works wonderfully well. The tracking camera works really good when I'm, you know, toe-to-toe with them. Not so good other times, like doing the whole long-range shooting thing. Alright. Let's get some light attack drones out for that guy. Right. Zoom out a little there. And let's switch over to Gleam. It's close enough. Oh, nice. One-shotted. I like one-shotting. I'm actually right next door to Canid, which is kind of cool. Canid was my old stomping ground back in the day. Way back in the day. I mean, we're talking like near the beginning of the game. Oh, did I? I forgot to deploy one. Launch for self. And make sure to save that. And switch ammo. Yeah, I haven't run into anything dicey yet, which is fine. I actually... Okay, so you'll notice the agent mission's up here. I don't have the last of the Caldari Epic Arc mission up there anymore. Oh, thank heavens. This fitting is what allowed me to do that. So I set this thing up, and I think what was getting me before is I did not have an effective fitting for resisting missiles, and this setup is actually still weak against missiles. I've got to really be careful about how I'm tanking if I'm up against missiles. So, you know, that can be a problem if I'm not careful. But as long as I'm very careful about what kind of hardeners I'm using, I don't tend to have any problems. Oh. Anyways, just to get an idea on the consistency of the videos, because I am actually getting back into EVE Online, and I do intend to keep playing it, to, you know, kind of get back into it, especially over the summer. I actually... Ooh, shiny. Too shiny. I actually started doing some statistical analyses in the game based on the gate network. It's actually some pretty cool stuff. I put some of my initial findings up on a new blog that I set up, New Eden Analytics. You know, just Google that, you should be able to find it. And it's, I think the address is New Eden Analytics, one word, come on. It's in my character bio. newedenanalytics.blogspot.com. So if you guys want to check it out, I'll post a link to that in this video as well. But, you know, it's basically just me having fun looking at, hey, move. Still can't quite figure out how Bastion module remembers or not where I'm going when I tell it to go, when it's in Bastion and gets out of. Anyways, I I'm probably going to do irregular updates on that, but I'm using a lot of the statistical and analytical techniques that I've been learning, both at work and at school, to examine the EVE universe. So, and I've come up with some really interesting metrics too. I can examine over time. I've got about 3 weeks worth of data that I look over. I use that to develop, to examine the sort of the mean activity in a given system. You know, like I'm collecting jumps per hour, so the mean jumps per hour, and then I can even get a standard error on that too. For those who don't know what any of this stuff is, mean is average, at least how average is usually calculated. You know, add up all the numbers together and divide by the amount of numbers you have. So you get that's in statistics that's called a mean value, even though it's an average. But in statistics we have 3 different kinds of averages, so we can't use average. We have to come up with some crazy other word. Mean being the most popular. It annoys me though. Standard error is a way of statistically guessing at if I had an infinite amount of time to collect information, what's my range here? You know, I haven't shown you guys the micro jump drive yet. Let me show that to you. I'm gonna veer off this way. Ooh, yeah, I definitely should show you since I got some guys coming in close here. Okay, so let me... Hey! Oh, crap, I'm lagging, aren't I? Yep. Dang it. See, the lag gets annoying. Lag on this setup is... And I'm still lagging. That is really annoying. Alright. There we go. Good. Kick in Bastion. It's at 125. I think that's ultraviolet range. Oh, more lag. Grr, arg. Come on. Lag, not good. See, lag can be fatal with this setup if I'm not careful. Thankfully, I've got some very heavy resistances, so I'm not too worried, and they're all really far away from me. So still, I keep getting these lag spikes today. I think it has to do with the snowstorm and everyone being inside. So, very annoying. Alright, switch over to this guy. Take out as many cruisers and frigates as I can. This is also a much more involved setup than my old one was. I really need to pay much more attention to what I'm doing. Which, honestly, I think is kind of good. I like that. Oh, you'll notice that... Lag! You'll notice that I'm a little bit more engaged in what I'm actually doing in the game, as opposed to the old way I had before. There we go. So I have to pay a touch more attention to what I'm doing. Which is not always easy, mind you. Okay, so yeah, the statistical information that I'm collecting in the game. So, standard error is if I had well, technically speaking, if I had an infinite amount of samples, but since I'm collecting hourly information, if I had an infinite amount of time to collect data, what would be the average value for that system? So, like in JITA, if I had an infinite amount of time to collect data on JITA, what would be the average value of jumps in that system? That's kind of the gist of it. Switch over to multi-frequency. Pop this guy. Haha! You are not getting close to me. So, you know, what's the use of that? Well, you know, I mean, one could certainly make an argument of, well, that's totally useless. You've got this range of values. You've got an average value. You can kind of use that to look at it as it is. Okay, true. But the standard error can also give me a sense on how much variation there is, because standard error will give me a range of values around the average. And the wider that range, the more that system tends to vary in what its actual values are. So, you know, like one day it's really high, and another day it's really low, and et cetera, et cetera. I'm currently analyzing it as a breakdown by the time of day, so you know what hour in the day it is, and I can notice some interesting patterns there already. Now, yes, there are day of week patterns as well, but I don't have a large enough sample to examine both day of week and time of day simultaneously. Because this just, you know, if you think about it, I'd have to, I'm dividing my data up into one unique observation point. I'm just gonna call it that. One unique observation point for every hour within a week. There are math. Well, I'm shooting at a Dark Lord. 24 hours in a day times 7 days a week. There's 168 hours in a week. So, oh man, I should have disabled Bastion. This takes a minute to cycle, by the way, so I have to be very careful with it because it will lock me down mobility-wise for a whole minute. But damn, it's powerful. Anyways, what the heck was I okay, yeah. So there's almost 170 hours within a week. And what I end up getting is if I observe a system for a week, I have one observation set. So I have one observation for each of those 170 some odd hours. That just gives me one stretch of data. I can't do any sort of real calculations on that. You give me 2 weeks, I can kind of do something, but still, only 2 observations per point. You know, per point is just not so. It's not much. Ideally, I'd want about 10 to 15 to at least start to get an indication of the patterns over time like that. So, you know, we're talking about 3 to 4 months worth of data collection here. I've only been doing this for less than a month. I don't have enough data yet. And head back to the acceleration gate. I forgot to drop. Yeah, I did forget to drop one of these again. Okay, launch for self. Yeah. I need to stop forgetting that. I get too caught up in what goes on when I immediately jump in. And, you know, sometimes I've actually got time to sit down and think about it, but I don't always feel like I do. Largely because I'm still a little amped up over finishing that mission that, you know, botched my last Paladin. Oh boy, that was crazy. That was absolutely crazy. Yeah, this little thing comes on whenever you kick into Bastion mode. You basically can't dock or use Stargates while you're in Bastion mode, or for a minute thereafter, and that's basically what that's doing. Okay, they're pretty far off. I've got plenty of time. Let's deploy the tractor unit. Let's also bookmark the tractor unit. That's all 4 of them that I had brought with me. Nothing else is jumping in. Let's engage Bastion. Lock that stuff. Those guys, let's see. 100 some odd clicks, I think. Oh, shit. These guys came in real quick. Okay, so I want to go that way. See, this is what gets tricky. Gotta be careful when I engage Bastion because I am a sitting duck for a minute. I cannot warp and... No, actually, I should be fine with X-ray. I cannot warp and I cannot move. So, you know, gotta be careful with Bastion mode. Seriously? I can't hit him at this range? There we go. And micro jump drive will not work if I'm warp scrambled. There we go. Okay, give it a moment. Aligned, engaging. I'll end up a little closer to these guys, but that's okay. I'm getting away from the guys that are really close to me, which is what I want. Okay. Excellent, and pop in the little guys, re-engage Bastion. This is actually a good place. I can do a lot of fancy stuff here. And the lag has abated. Of course, I probably just jinxed it. Arr! There we go. So yeah, this is a really good setup. I enjoy it. And, you know, I've got a micro warp drive, and I've got a improved cloaking device. And the micro warp drive cloak trick does work on this setup. You know, I have to turn off the micro jump drive in order to enable the micro warp drive, which is a major pain in the ass, but it will work. That's something I'm very happy about. Which, I mean, theoretically, I could take this thing into low sec and transit through and, you know, find some ass-end system to use this thing in. I will not do that, because I am not suicidal. Come on. Lock already. There we go. Alright. Pop this guy from here. Oh, this is fun. And I did deploy a... Yes, I did. Okay, good. Because what I can do... Actually, what I should do is go buy myself a destroyer, because I really don't want to haul my Noctis out here, but I might do that. We'll see. So I don't like actually having to salvage with this thing. It's sort of slow. Yeah, so anyways, and I will just finish popping these guys. But blammo, I love doing so much damage. What I really want to do, though, is boost the range and the weapon range and the lock distance on this thing. Because with Auroras, there's no reason for me to use anything, any of the standard crystals longer that have... Yeah. There's no reason for me to use the long-range crystals. The longest range crystal that is effective to use when you've got access to Aurora is standards. Because the damage that you get from standards and auroras are identical. They do the exact same damage, and you can get some crazy ranges with Aurora. I mean, well over 200 clicks. So I guess I could just, you know, really focus on the target locking range, but I'd also like to get as much boost onto the regular range here as I can. To ideally, you know, push this into higher and higher damage ammos. I mean, I would be awesome if I could use multi-frequencies up to 140. There's no way in hell that's going to happen, but I'd love it. But yeah, you know, when you've got long-range long-ranged fittings, you get more of a damage boost by increasing the range, your optimal range, than you do generally by using heat sinks. I mean, obviously using them in tandem is a good way to go, and if you look at my setup, I've got 2 heat sinks here. I could probably pull that reinforced steel plate for another heat sink. Okay, so yeah, there we go. I just completed that mission. Going to plop that back in, disable Bastion, and complete the mission and go around salvaging stuff. Alright, folks, I'm going to call it for this episode. And yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to regularly do these. This was really kind of a one-shot deal. Just, you know, because, hey, I had time and I wanted to and I felt like it, and I also wanted to show off my new toy. So, but anyways, yeah, I'm hoping I can get more into this more regularly after I graduate, which will be in May. That's really what I want to do, especially with the analytics stuff. So check out New Eden Analytics. I've only got one post at the moment. I am looking at getting another one up. That's something I can do today as well. I have time. Snow day. Awesome. It's a real light day for assignments as well, so I don't have to worry too much about getting schoolwork done today because I'm actually fairly far ahead. All right, folks. I am going to call it. Make sure the mission was actually successful. Yes, I am going to call it, and I will see you in the next episode, whenever that is.